Hi everyone, a very good evening, good afternoon, and today we will be starting our next session and the important session with respect to the DevOps curriculum, that is your the Linux series, and this is quite important for you to understand. Uh, any operating system is needed into the DevOps area is your Linux. You need to learn much more about the Linux part. If you go in detail, there are multiple set of jobs also available. It's not only restricted with the DevOps. It can be with respect to your Linux admin. It can be related to your like cloud front. Any of the area where do you think that okay this can be helpful? So in that particular area, actually Linux is playing an important role. So you should be knowing it that okay, whatever the Linux you are designing it or working on, you should be having end-to-end details. Okay, and this Linux platforms are actually helping you to make a big cluster structural kind of the operating system. And there are different type of operating system within Linux only. We are going to discuss one by one, step by step, and we will be seeing it over. Okay. Similarly, let's start this journey with our few initial understanding. You can see over here on the screen. So let me just making it one heading over Linux heading. Okay. So this is the first lecture of Linux operating system. We will be having around 10 to 15 lectures on the Linux operating system, right? Where we will be talking about multiple the architecture of Linux, how Linux actually have been designed, what all commands we are going to do it, and what all things we are going to do it, and how the real-time implementation, like how within using of any of the services available with respect to any of the platform. It could be your VMware platform, it could be your AWS platform, any of the platform. If you are using it on that platform, we are going to use this operating system. Okay, and we can able to see the practical implementation. But yeah, everything having some pros and cons. That is also we are going to discuss in this video, and as well as we will get to know some history also. So until unless you are not knowing it, why you are learning it, then it will be difficult to make you understand also that okay, what all components we are going to discuss in this particular scenario. And before Linux also, what was there, how it was originated, and who is actually the real developer behind this Linux operating system, why it becomes so much popular. So that kind of stuff is also we are saying and going to discuss in this scenario. So basically, let's go back to the first scenario where we are having, like for example, this whole journey was started by actually five engineers. There was some five engineers were there who actually started this complete research. I would moreover say as a research. Complete research was actually started in 1964. Some time frame was there, 1964, under the Bell Laboratory. Okay, and they actually thought of to develop something. Okay, there are like set of engineers was there who actually started this. So we can say it as a kind of a startup idea. At that time, it was not a startup grade, but yeah, we can say that it is a startup area only where they have actually started the understanding building it up that okay, we need to have some kind of operating system, right? Till 1964 to 1969, okay, this was the time frame where they have started and doing the researches, and they like doing some integrations and the development. Many things have been done that finally it won't work. Okay, the people who are at both of the screens, the it was actually not work for them, and there was some failures they have started on it, right? There was some failures started happening, but sorry, but later on in 1969, finally they able to make this thing able to make this thing successful, and this is actually done by them. There are two very famous engineers was there who actually completed this complete task, and their name was like Ritchie. Dennis Ritchie was there, and Ken Thompson. Okay, these are the two engineers who actually completed this development of the operating system. And for your understanding, for the first initial part, it was not the Linux actually. The first programming language on the operating system which was available into the market, that was the Unix. Unix actually. And that too before the first part only coming it, its original name was Unix actually. UNICS. Unix was the first name of this particular operating system which they have designed. Okay, and basically this first operating system related to this OS, it get famous in 1975. Okay? In 1975 there was a version called Unix version 6. It's actually become popular, very much popular. Okay, and they have made this operating system free for everyone. Okay, basically when the first time they launched this thing, this OS was completely free of course, and it is available for everyone. So whoever, like a person like us, for example, there is a guy who want to learn this language, they can actually learn it for free of course, and they don't need to pay any cost over this one. But if anything is available free of cost and in open source media, definitely there are competitors are also here. Need to understand one more thing, that with respect to the open source, there are few of the competitors also available over there. Now think of a scenario, if code is available already outside, definitely the people, maybe the business perspectives, if you have think of, they can use this course to build up. Okay, use this code to build up their own product, and the same thing happened into the case of this Unix. How it happened? Now see over here. For an example, this is my, for example, this is my one of the operating system. Okay, and I would say it as, now I'm giving it as a name of Linux. Okay, I'm giving it as a name of, not Linux, sorry, I give it as a name of Unix. Okay, this was the first operating system development happened. Okay, and it was the time frame 1975. For example, when it became more popular, right? Time when it became more popular. Now, definitely, this is already available into the market, and there are big vendors, there are big companies which is already getting things to be seeing that, okay, what is getting popular, what how need to do it. So similarly, what happened? Few organization came into the picture, like IBM, like HP, few more organization. They actually launched their own operating system. HP launched one operating system for Linux. Similarly, IBM have launched already one of the version, and similarly with some other small vendors, they also launched their own operating system. And finally, what happened in the last, the complete market is becoming the paid version of Unix, right? So what happened in the last, everything is becoming paid version. So into the market, whatever the operating system which was freely of course was available, now everything is actually available into the paid part. Now think of a scenario, if someone want to learn related to the operating system, it is getting difficult at that time to learn. Okay, we are going to talk about the example also, like at which particular stage it happened and how there is a lead of development happened during the during this leads to the development of Linux happened. Similarly, now let's take with an example. Now let's take with an example. There was a guy. Okay, there was a guy actually a kind of student one. Okay, he was the student who shown some interest that, okay, I need to show some interest that I need to learn about Unix. Right? Want to learn about the Unix or some kind of operating system knowledge. I want to take it, and he started searching for the courses, or started searching for the courses as well as for the OS. Yeah, he started searching over there. He is not able to like find anything free of cost, anything free of the cost. And at that time, the amount, total amount what we have is like something called $5,000. This much of amount was there to get the paid services. Think of one scenario which was available free of cost. Suddenly, the amount getting increased till much that much high. How much difficult for someone to go and invest that much of amount, $5,000 during the time of 1990s. I'm talking about one student, and I will make you correlate also how this thing getting that much costly. Because already think of, if demand is more, for an example, if demand is more and supply is less, what is going to be happen? The rates are go obviously high. Always remember that thing. Then this is actually happening because this was the new operating system which was already getting popular, and due to which everything is getting so much of costly. Now Now this student is keep researching a lot, and he was not able to find anything related to the operating system in Fleury. And this student is actually name was Linus Torvald. Linus Torvald, and he is the only developer of the Linux operating system. He is the only developer of the Linux operating system who actually built up this operating system. Now, now there is one more question generally arise, and it is actually a common question across multiple platforms where generally it asks that okay, this Unix or this Linux is they have been made on the similar code or it have been on the different code. So basically, what was happened, the Unix code, whatever was written, Unix code, what was written, that was completely on the separate code. On the separate code, it have been done it. Okay. Similarly, way when it came to Linux also, so this having a confusion with many people, they thought that okay, complete code have been written for Linux also using the Unix as a framework. Generally, this is the assumption with many people that this is something have been written on the Unix code, but that is not actual the reality. Linux code have been written from the scratch. Okay, Linux code have been written from the scratch. There was a professor, very famous professor actually, and that professor name is something Andrew Tannenberg, something like this. He actually very famous, was actually very famous, and he wrote very good books in kind of operating system, in kind of programming language. In many areas, he have like written the different aspects where you need to showcase it, right? So similarly, what happened? He only have written one book that is called it as there was a book called Minus was something a book name. It was the book name which he have written. So Mr. Linus Torvald, what he have done it, he actually followed his complete book. He followed his complete book to develop the operating system. So definitely the people who are from the on-site or the people who are actually in the US and all, the professors are also that much technical strong that they are keep doing their researches. They let them the people to know understand that what all configuration they have done it and what all things they have like doing in their initialization. Right, it is not only about one particular component where they work it, they work on all around the globe. So basically when we develop something, so they have also did some researches. So similarly, Mr. Linus Torvald follow his professor book, whatever the minus was developed over there, and as well as he used Unix also for his learning. Okay, he used Unix for its learning. It is not like that he does not gone through the Unix part. He definitely went through the Unix part also. But the if someone is asked that okay whether this complete code was from the Unix platform, so that is not actually reality. It is basically using the book of Minus from where it getting followed, and on that basis only the configuration happens. I'll say during 1990s, okay, during 1990s or 1994, and during this time, finally, what happened? There was a guy called Linus Torvald, and we are going to talk about Linus Torvald sooner into the topic when we are going to talk about the Git also. He's the same developer for the Git also, so you will get to know over there also. But Linus Torvald is only the one person who actually developed this complete OS by using the Minix language, Minix operating or say operating system, and on top of it, he have built up the complete version again for the same, right? And he again make it as an free, make it as an free for everything, free for everyone. That's why he have make it free. Now, again, the story started again, the story again came to the same part. Okay, he also again make it same for the people that okay you can use it whatever version you want to do it. But suddenly if you have heard about also Linux and you have heard about these different type of OSs, you have noticed there are so many operating systems available into the market, right? So many. why there is so many operating system are there, how they actually came into the market. That is actually happened because of again getting the paid version, and we will talk about what all the versions are and what all the companies are actually available over here. So there are number set of operating system which is actually offer, and they claim that okay, we are going to provide you the support with respect to the operating system. So now how it is happening now? Let's see. Now again see now. So if I'm in the top, if I'll say Linux is my operating system. Okay, Linux is my operating system in a general. I'm talking about Linux is my operating system. And is Linux is really an operating system, or is there some another component that we are also going to talk it about, right? So the first company, if you might have heard about, very famous, is Red Hat. Red Hat. Okay. Red Hat launched its own operating system. Okay, Red Hat is already having the Linux system that you can use our one. Even though this Red Hat Linux operating system also claim that you need to use or you need to configure my subscription. After that only you can able to download the packages, and it is very common practices now in the industry also. If you want to use the operating system related to Red Hat, what is happening, you need to enable the subscription into the operating system. Then only what is happening, the deployment is going to be the deployment is happening, you are able to download the packages, and multi packages are there. Similarly, after Red Hat there is like CentOS was there. Okay, he also becoming. Then what happened, then you have Debian was there. Okay, then what happened? Then Fedora is there. Okay, then what happened? Then Ubuntu came in. Fine. Then what happened? Solaris came in. Right. Then what happened? SUSE came in. Okay. Similarly, like there are now recently one more Rocky Linux is also available. So there are multiple kind of operating system right now available into the market. It's not one or two. There are so many operating systems are there, and companies are actually working on all these kind of operating systems. But in reality, the one thing is common across all of the operating system is that their platform works on the same language, where you will find the things are working similarly, but one component will be different with respect to your complete configuration. Okay, now definitely you might have a question again that okay, whatever the Red Hat you are telling, is that also a specific version like our Windows or like our normal thing? So yes, there is a version matrix is there, and why it is different from Windows, that also we are going to discuss about, and what making it more compatible, that is also we are going to talk it about now. Similarly when Red Hat launched, so in the Red Hat also, so there are multiple set of versions. Okay, versions means different versions, and different versions having a different fixes available there. Okay, that you can use it, you can make a use of this version. So generally Red Hat called it as RHEL. For example, it started, I'm let's taking starting at 6.7. It is not like only 6.7, it can be started. This is why I am telling it the starting era. Okay, where it have been started era. RHEL 6.7, which is the initial version. After that, like for example, RHEL 7.2, after that RHEL like 7.3, then RHEL like 7.4. Similarly, where RHEL like 8 series started, and similarly RHEL like 8.6, and now the latest version is running RHEL 9.2. So think of, there are so many versions actually available into the market, which is getting so much popular. Versions getting available into the market, which is so much like which is so much popular. Why there is so much of versions are available? Why there is a need of so much version? Because a need. Why? Because definitely this is a Linux box. Definitely this needs some fixes. Always remember one thing, one more thing in this area, that thing is that we are thinking at it is as an operating system, right? We are thinking it as an operating system. We are thinking, right? But definitely for the company, it is a product, right? For example, the company Red Hat, for them, this is a product only, right? And definitely this product having customer, because now Red Hat is claiming, right? Red Hat itself telling that, okay, we need to configure this thing, and we are providing you the support with respect to our this complete deployment. So definitely when we are using Red Hat, we might having some issues, right? Maybe for an example, if I am using Java as my programming language, and maybe with respect to Java, I have encountered some issues. Simple scenario. For example, I have encountered some issue where I got an issue related to OpenJDK compatibility error, something kind of like, or maybe I have ended up in the solution or problem statement where vulnerability detected, or maybe like when I'm changing it to making secure, again some errors came in, right? Possible things are there. There are multiple scenarios can be possible. So in that scenario, what happened? Customers, for example, Red Hat. I'm making it as a Red Hat customers. For an example, they are actually what they will do, they will actually raise the defect. They will raise the defect. You can say it as a defect, you can say it as a bug, you can say it as an issue, anything you can say. Now they claim there is a heading they have created saying that okay, this OpenJDK, for example, is not working with the latest version of RHEL 9.2. I'm just taking a random example. It is not a hard and fast rule that it is only an issue. It can be any example. Now, for example, I have stated that okay, OpenJDK is not working in this particular scenario. So what is going to be happen? So in this particular scenario, definitely when it is reported by Red Hat, what is going to be happen? There will be a team. Okay, there will the first entry team will be the support team. Okay, I'm just talking about some flow also from the complete infrastructure level. So you will understand those areas also how this complete process work, right? Now it go to support team. Support team have analyzed, okay, and they found that okay, this is some R&D issue. R&D is your research and development. Always remember this thing, that research and development. So they figured out that this is a issue related to the research. Then what they did, they raised and they moved this ticket to the development team. That okay, there is some issue, you need to look in it. What will happen? Then they said that okay, this is a confirmed defect. Now what happened? Now what happened? They already moved out from the release cycle. They moved out from the release cycle, and where they found that okay, this is not able to complete right now, and we will take into, for example, RHEL 9.3, just a newer version. So the problem or the scenario what I want to try over here, that if you are seeing so many versions starting from say for example RHL 6.7 to 9.2 to 9.3, it means there are some issues happen in between due to which these many set of operating system is actually getting fixed and actually getting available into the market, and that with the complete operating system is generating, right? That this whole structure is coming into the picture. Similarly, now similarly when we talked about the operating system, you should have a list. This is the list of operating system which you should be having handy. So anytime, and this is the same thing we are going to see into the AWS also when we going through the AWS EC2 instances. Okay, very important. Whatever the community AMIs are available, you need to understand each of the operating system. And this is Linux is not about only running the command. Linux is about to understand what is actually happening into the backend and how your product is doing. So you need to remember that there is the famous one is Red Hat. Even though Amazon offer is Amazon Linux, we offered Amazon Linux. The third part which is offered, that is the Kali Linux is also there. Kali Linux, this is actually used by the for pen testing or the people who are actually completely into the like cyber security. There it is actually happening in kind of a ethical testing. Okay, ethical testing we can say it. Amazon Linux also have multiple version. Right now it is 2023. So we have the version available is 2023. The older version was 2022. Similarly, Red Hat have multiple versions, say 6.7, 7.4, say 8.5, and the 9.2 version, right? Similarly, what is the latest version? Similarly, CentOS is operating system. Currently, it is end of support. As of now, there is no support is available there. Right now, it is they have already declared into the Google that this is going to be sooner to be stopped. So there is an alternate also came into the market, that is your Rocky Linux, that is also available into the market. Similarly, there is like SUSE, a very famous operating system to the market which is available. Okay, and the another one you have like Debian is also available, right? Debian is also there. Similarly, where you have Fedora is also available, right? And you have say Solar is also available, right? Say Ubuntu is also available. So multiple Fedora, Ubuntu, and Solaris. So there are multiple operating systems available related to the Linux. Now the question comes that why there is so much of Linux based operating system is available, when whereas when we talked about, if I'll just make a comparison, one way if I'll say Linux, one way if I'll say Windows. So why there is so much of differentiation? These are having bulk, right? If I'll just draw it, this is having the bulk of things available over here. Bulk operating system. Multiple are there, right? Just now we talked RHL, CentOS, and Ubuntu, SolarRace, right? So many are there. But why in the Windows, when we talked about, there is none of the operating system, only specific, like Windows 2000, 8, 2010, was 2012. Why only limited or 2016? And Windows also having some servers and these all things which is available. We are going to talk that thing is available. But for a while, just understand this one. That only why Windows having limited, and why company's preference is more over the Linux, why not towards the Windows? That question also should be come into your mind while we are talking about this area. Now, now you need to understand one thing. As I told in the beginning, Linux is an open source operating system which is available freely over the internet until and unless you don't need to go for the support. If you are going for a very advanced, only then you need to use the paid version. Else you need to go with the free only. You can able to do it. But with the respect to Windows, you cannot do it. With respect to Windows, you cannot do it. For an example, let's think. Let's think in a scenario. For example, I'm a startup company. Okay, say I am a startup company. This is my startup company, and where I'm planning to hire startup companies there, and I'm planning to hire multiple engineers. Okay, multiple engineers to my organization, fine. Similarly, HR team I will hire, right? Similarly, with finance team also I will hire. Similarly, with everyone, like multiple people I have been needed. There are, like, I have taken few engineers. Like, this is the ENG team. This is say HR team. This is say finance team. This is say like another department, admin department. Multiple departments. Now, for engineering, I know that cost will definitely go high, right? But here are chances to save also. Here are chances to save also. I will come to that point. How you can save it? That part also will come. Now think of a scenario. For example, I'm using HR. This, and these people are there. Right? So definitely, these people to work, I need a system. These people need to work on system, and to make their work, definitely they need Windows, because they are not working on the product development. They are working on their another important part. Similarly, here also they are doing something. Here also doing this thing. Means these all are the mandatory options or the mandate function where actually they need to configure Windows is the must operating system for them, right? Why it is must, and why now Windows is Linux is getting more popular with respect to the product life cycle rather than the Windows. Whereas from the childhood, what we have seen that Windows is more easier to tackle because of GUI interface. Few of the people, why they are using Windows. Like if we talk about our parents, if we talk about our teachers, we talk about the existing people, what was happening? People were more over towards the Windows side because it is a graphical user interface, right? Geo was unable, but whereas with respect to Linux was, it is not there, right? With respect to the Linux operating system, it is not very easily to perform these kind of a task, right? So why they have to put this Windows as a must for specific function and not to all the function? Reason, because there is one more reason why companies not preferring to win OS because of its license cost. Because of it, license cost. Now think of a scenario where you have thousands of products. When I say thousands of products, means you are offering thousands of products to the customer, right? And think of a scenario where you are putting a support only for support for Windows, right? Only you are telling that, okay, I need to put a support for Windows. When I say support for Windows, what exactly it means? means that every product should go and sit and develop onto the Windows areas only, Windows platform, the rest operating system it should not work. So think of a scenario if that is going to be happen, everything is licensed for say I would say 10K as a license for my configuration. Think of 1,000 products are there, 1,000 engineers are there. The revenue, forget about the revenue part. Whatever the investment I am going to put in, that is going to be huge cost, right? What is going to be happen? That is going to be a huge cost. If that is going to be happen, what can we do, right? It can be again going to be crash the money part, right? Cash to the money part. So in that particular scenario, this is not a very good approach for us to go with respect to Windows area. This is not very good with respect to the window area, and this is not working very efficiently. This is not actually working very efficiently. So in that scenario, what companies do, they actually go with the alternate option, and the alternate option is what? Alternative option is your Linux, which is freely available into the market. And always remember one word which is very common, that is your open source support, open source platforms which is available. As of now, generally we say that okay, there generally we are talking about DevOps with AWS, DevOps with Azure, DevOps with like the GCP, but that is not the right terminology. Actually, we are learning OSS, open source software DevOps. It means whatever the components we are getting to available into the market, that is openly available to us free of cost. That's the reason it is open source software. If you are learning Amazon, then you have to learn the Amazon tools, Code Commit and Code Chef. There are many of the tools which is Amazon is offering, but as of now, we are not learning fully Amazon DevOps. We are using it for our building up of the environment. Similarly, now what is going to be happen? So now you understand that if I can say as a demerit also or as an advantage. So let me define it as this one advantage, and let me make it as disadvantage also, so you can understand one more part. So if I say Linux will be the freely available for me into the market, which I can use it. Whereas Windows have to be the paid version. Okay, this should be a paid version, and you cannot use it freely. One more scenario, just recall one more example. Think of now if I have a organization, for example, I am a startup company which have having multiple people are working, and for them, what I did instead of going paid version, I have opted for the pirated, right? You might have heard about the pirated windows. That kind of thing is also available. So I have mentioned it pirated windows. So what happened if I have captured pirated? What is going to happen in that scenario? It will automatically reach a request to the Microsoft team over there that okay, these are people are actually getting the pirated windows, and you will for sure going to get a notice from them that please make a use of the right windows which is available from the offering, what all the offerings we are doing, right? So now first part, like okay, freely available, right? This is for the Linux, right? Advantage, right? Similarly, Windows is paid version, that is the paid services. First part, right? Similarly, we second another important one. Linux is something which is very light in weight. When you say light in weight, what exactly it means? Lightweight means like when you deploy any operating system related to the Linux, it does not take, if it is claiming that, okay, ISO, we are going to talk in detail when we do the image configurations into the Amazon. At that time, we are going to talk it. But for example, ISO image is there and that file is of 4 GB. Means Linux telling that, okay, I'm going to take 4 GB space. It means it is going to take only this much space, only more than that, it is not going to take. Whereas if we talk about Windows, if I'll claim as 4 GB, now, think of a scenario. Let me make that scenario. For example, we are going into the market and purchasing a computer or purchasing a lap, right? What we will do? We will go and check the RAM. Okay, RAM, I need high configuration, 16 GB. Okay, let me write over here. For example, I'll tell you that RAM, I'm taking it at 16 GB, right? Similarly, what I'll do, I'll take storage, maybe I will tell 500 GB, and that too SSD, very famous now, right? Similarly, with CPU, I will say like okay, maybe like like 400 CPUs, like, or maybe I'll say like 16 GB limit, 16 GB. So this is the configuration I am telling you. So definitely when I am putting 16 GB, what is going to be happen? It is actually using out of like 16 GB, definitely it might have taken a space of 8 GB or 9 GB for its installation, configuration, default find. These kind of things it is going to be happen, but it is not actually happening into the case of Windows. Why that is not happening? Because in case of Linux, why it is not happening? Because in that particular scenario, it is only taking the limited area of space. Okay, limited area means like, okay, if I'm taking 4 GB, so I will be taking 4 GB only. So that is also one of the advantage and disadvantage with respect to Windows and Linux. Now another very important, again, another very important with respect to the Linux and Windows. So for example, you have to think in a simple way. Like you might have heard whenever we are in our school days, whenever in our college days, so there was a craze about the antiviruses. Like antivirus, you need to use it, right? So with respect to Windows, for example, I need to make my product to be secure. To product to be secure, that you need some good viruses, say avast antivirus. Similarly, we say like you have some another cafe antivirus. These kind of antivirus you need to do. Why? Because Windows is very easy to have. It is very easy to have. That is the reason for Windows environment you need to put all the antivirus into this system. Okay, that way you are going to produce it. So this way, what will happen? Again, there is a course addition happen, right? You need to take a good antivirus also, and it is another demerit also. It is not that much secure, right? Because security issues is there. Every time you have to get it into where you need to good upgrade the versions, upgrade the things every time. But have you ever heard that you need any kind of the antivirus related to the Linux? You definitely not have heard about, because why that is happened? Because Linux is very secure. As part of this learning, you need to understand that Linux is very secure as part of the operating system. Another thing, what is going to be happen? I'll just take an example. This is a box of Linux, say Linux as of now, and let me tell you, this is a box of Windows. Okay, when when virus hit, I'm taking this a virus. I'm not taking any terminology related to security. And when it is happened with Windows virus attack, so what will happen? For example, in Linux, the folder structure or the directory structure is like this: root, okay, slash opt slash home slash swap slash boot. Right? This is the directory structure with respect to the Linux. Similarly, when we talk about Windows, it will be having like local disk C, local disk D, similarly with E. This is a common scenario, normal scenario, whatever we have seen at our homes also. That way only I have designed it, Linux and Windows. Now what will happen? For example, suddenly virus attack. Suddenly what happened? Virus attack to this box. What has happened? For example, under root or under root directory, as of now, what is root, what is opt, what is home? No need to worry about. You just, as of now, just remember as a word only. And next lecture, we are going to talk about the directory structures also. So think of root is there, and there is a folder called system. Okay, I have given a name system. So suddenly some virus also attacks. So what will happen? It will hit only to the this area. It will be hit only to the this area where system is actually running it. Okay, it will actually running it to the systems only, and this is the only configuration going to happen it. Okay, once this is done, it impact to this and this virus, and it is not going to hit to the further one, right? And with respect to Windows, what will happen? It will hit the whole system. It is going to hit the whole system where complete configuration itself gets hit. Means it will impact C also, it will impact D also, it will impact E also. Means everything is going to be impacted with this virus, and that's the reason Windows is unsecure, whereas Linux is more secure in this related operating. Okay, so these are few of the things which I want to talk about as part of the initial understanding. There are few more topics which we need to do it. I don't want to keep it more longer. The reason you will get bored, keep learning at the same time. So we should go with a little bit slow flow where you need to understand everything slowly by slowly. And please re-revise this all things what we are talk about. And tomorrow continue the same session. We will be talking about the components. Next, our deployments how to going to be done with respect to the Linux. We will be using AWS platform. Similarly, we will be having some more environments available as where we can do the hands-on. Okay. Please enroll this channel. Please subscribe this channel. Okay, please enroll the notification button. Have it the comment section open. Post your queries. There are multiple options is available. Website is available where you can search, read about the blog. There is a website named devopswithranjit.com. You can search over Google. You will find so many information over there also, and you can read about the content as well as the paid trainings what we offer. That also is available there. So if you are someone who is interested to go into the part of DevOps world, what all technologies need to be learned, you can follow this channel for the regular updates. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. We'll meet you tomorrow with the same time with the next session. Thank you.